Yes, guys, hello and welcome back to the Spurs-related YouTube channel and podcast. I hope everyone's doing very, very well today. Today, we thought we'd do a very quick update video / opinionated video based on who we think is going to cook under Ange Postecoglou ball. And today, I've got the full squad with me. I've got Andre, all the way from Canada. I've got Jack, all the way from Jacko Wacko land. And we've got the Spurs relatables watching. And if you guys could do me a massive, massive favor and smash that thumbs up button, you would make our day. Let's see if we can get 100 likes. And let's see how many people can hit that subscribe button, which is free to do so. You will not be disappointed by the content on this channel. But very, very quickly, Andre, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing well. Obviously, I wish there was more that we could, talk to you guys about, some good news, some transfer news, but it's Tottenham. So instead, we're going to sort of just talk about what we think might be good news, which is the potentials of some of these players and who we think will surprise us.
Exactly. The stream got a little bit negative yesterday, as some of you may have seen. I absolutely just went off on one about everything Tottenham and how the situation is with Kane and those centre-backs. But today we've got a bit more of a positive video talking about positivity. Jack, you're looking very, very positive in your England tracksuit. Look like you're about to play for the under-18s, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, you know me, James, probably could with my ability on the ball, just such a player. But apart from that, I'm doing all right, James. I'm doing well. Actually, England won 6-1 today, the ladies, so well done to them against China. But I'm doing well. Looking forward to talking about Tottenham, not all the time because being a Tottenham fan can be incredibly frustrating, as we all know. But it's interesting to see what players we think are going to thrive under Ange Postecoglou.
Absolutely love it.
Sorry, I think we lagged there. But are we back? We're back in the building?
We're back. Right, so guys, let's get straight into the talking point of the video, which is, as you can see by the title of the video, who is going to be the biggest surprise under Ange Postecoglou? We've got a few different options, haven't we, lads, that we've put together and we're going to talk about. There is one that I feel strongly about, which I'm sure I'll probably talk more about than you guys. There's ones that Jack and Andre feel strongly about. So let's get into those. And guys, let us know in the comments which ones you think are the surprise candidates to have a great season. And that's what today's keyword is. I'm putting it in early today. It is going to be, the keyword is surprise in capital letters. And I want you to put who your surprise pick of the season is that's going to perform well under Ange. But Andre, slide master, let's get straight into it.
Perfect. So how about we start with your pick, James? I know that this one may not surprise that many people, but go for it.
Bissouma, where do I start? He is going to have some season. I'm so confident. I am so confident. And do you know what? I can't wait to get clipped if he has a stinker. But the reason why he's going to have a season, Conte didn't really give him a chance. He didn't let him even have much game time. He is an unbelievable football player at Brighton. He just brought them to life every single game. Every time we played Brighton, we looked at that team sheet. You thought Bissouma, he's going to cause a big, big problem in midfield. We have still got that same player that we bought in the summer of 2022. And my goodness, he is a player. When he gets on the ball, he can drive in that number 8 position. He can really bring the ball forwards, have shots from long range, pull the passes, play in Maddison, and also track back and defend. Could even probably play the 6th role to some extent sometimes. He is an absolutely unbelievable player on the ball, dribbling. His agility is fantastic. He is almost like a Paul Pogba, but when he was at his peak. I genuinely think this guy is unbelievable on the ball. He's skillful, he's technical, he's powerful. Honestly, without just completely going off on one, I genuinely think this guy could be our sort of like Bentancur type player this season. Although Bentancur obviously is coming back at the end of the year, I think Bissouma will cook in that midfield to start the season. What does everyone else think?
I agree with you, honestly. I have my own pick, but I mean, it's no surprise. This guy played more of a CM in Brighton. He was much more of a threat when he was coming up and getting in our box when we have faced him in the past. So it was very disheartening to see what type of role he was playing under Conte last season. And I feel like it's going to be Bissouma unleashed this season because of Ange's system.
Yep, 100%. Jack?
No, Yves Bissouma, a fantastic player. Like I said, I think I actually chose him, James, when we did our picks last year as the player who I actually think is going to be most impressive. He hasn't quite lived up to the expectation as of yet, but so far in pre-season, he's been the shining light for me. He's shown his confidence on the ball. He's shown his composure. It seems like he's really happy to be there. I've already said on all the social media channels, it seems like he brings that energy, enthusiasm that we've been missing. And on the pitch, I generally believe in that sixth role, or to be honest, probably even in not quite the attacking 8 role, he can still thrive higher up on the pitch. So for me, there's multiple different roles where I think he can play well, and I can't wait to see how he performs. But I just hope he's got partners that are going to be up to his standards as well to create a formidable midfield.
Jack, would you put him at the top of the tree in terms of who do you think is going to thrive under Ange?
I think he probably is at the top of the tree for me. Potentially someone else I'm sure we're going to come on to is maybe a Lo Celso that I could really see doing well if he shows that he wants to be there. But there's another name that I've mentioned here that is a bit more of a controversial one, as we love to have a controversial take here at SpursRelated, especially on my end. But yeah, Yves Bissouma, James, he's going to thrive this year. I really hope so. But like you said, it'd be nice to have a couple centre halves that are going to help him out as well, just behind him.
Absolutely. Let's see who's next, Jack. Let's see who's next. Come on, Andre.
Yeah, don't get James started on the center backs. That's going to be a whole thing. Okay, so let's just go to my pick, or actually, no, sorry, let's go to Jack's pick.
Yeah,
go for
this is outrageous, Jack.
It's not outrageous, though. It's not outrageous. So let me talk you through the method to my madness. Is because Ivan Perisic is a very talented footballer. He's an experienced leader, and he's performed on the world's biggest stage on numerous occasions. And he clearly hasn't performed well in a Spurs shirt, and that's very evident. But I'd be lying if I wouldn't say there's so much potential there that has been untapped. I think he's an experienced person in the dressing room, and I think he leads by example. He's always in training. You can always say he's always in shape. And at the beginning of pre-season, he really impressed me. He genuinely did, finding fantastic pockets of space, very creative, and looked match fit compared to all the other players in a Spurs shirt. And I believe if he doesn't move to Saudi Arabia as he's linked, or move back to one of his previous clubs like Inter Milan, I generally believe he could have a good, really good season in a Spurs shirt as a rotational option. I don't think he's a left back. I think he's performed stronger as a winger, and I think we generally could do with his services this year. And I think he'll do well in a Postecoglou system, pressing higher up the field. He's very fit. He runs and runs and runs. Yes, he's not going to play every game because he's getting older, but I could see him having a good season. Yes, it's controversial, but I think what's the point of not putting yourself out there and saying, I generally believe there's a good player in Ivan Perisic, and I think other people would be stupid not to admit that they don't see a lot of potential there.
Can I Andre, have you got anything to say?
You go for it, James. You go for it, James. I have my own thing. I'll say it after.
The thing is with Ivan Perisic, right? We brought him in under Conte as a left wing back in a 5 at the back system. Now, naturally, when he was younger, playing at Bayern Munich, even stages at Inter Milan, he was more of a winger. He was more of a left winger, and even a right winger actually at times. So he is a forward player in his prime. However, he's 34 years old. He's far from his prime. He is on the decline. It's easy to say that. And he isn't quite as quick as what he was. And to be honest with you, although he got a few assists last season, well, actually the season under Conte's full season, he still doesn't fill me with confidence when he goes forward at the moment. And I don't know if that's just how it was at the end of the last season, but every time he played, I was never fully convinced. Now, I see what you're saying. Him playing further forward under Ange could work well, but I would just rather see a bit of fresh blood in this team. I think it's gone a little bit stale, and I honestly think Perisic is one of those players that is involved in the squad that is stale. I just don't see it working. I hope I'm
What I'll ask, James, is I think for me, Ivan Perisic is probably one of the most creative players we have. And I think as a dead ball specialist, we've got Maddison coming into the fold, who I hope is going to thrive as well this season. Probably a player that I've missed, really, because I think he's going to do very well. But I think Perisic balls into the box. He's the way he shifts it onto either foot, because he's two-footed, is his ability to find players at the back post. And we know Postecoglou likes to play high, and he plays low crosses into the box. And I feel like Perisic is one of the only players that has the technical ability to be able to do that. I think he brings a different dimension to like a Solomon or a Son or a Kulusevski. And I feel like it'd be worth keeping around. Do you not agree with that?
I think he will stay. I think he will stay with this club, at least for this season, and not because he's going to be the biggest surprise or anything like that, but just because out of all the things that we need to fix in this squad, he's not at the top of the list.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going to be that big of a surprise. I think he's going to be pretty standard of what we saw. He does have good things. I respect this player. He can put in a good cross. He's got some creativity in him. He plays more like a left mid on my end. So depending on what Ange wants to do, he could be used during the right system, depending on who we're playing. But I don't think this guy's gonna have any big surprises, to be honest.
Okay.
Let's see what the chat thinks. That's the best way. Let's see what the guys are thinking about Ivan Perisic. Put it in the description.
I think it'll be split.
Yeah, let's see what people are thinking. Andre, there's a couple more players. Let's get through them.
Yeah, perfect. So on my end, we were talking about a guy who thrived well in a left wing back role. We're going to talk about a guy who thrived well in a 4 at the back, and he's been forced to play with 5 at the back, and that's Emerson Royale. I personally think that we're finally going to see what Emerson Royale can actually do because of the role that he used to play when we thought, like, oh my God, this guy's really good. We've brought him to this team. He's going to do well. He always played 4 at the back for Brazil, 4 at the back, and he was forced to play right wing back for the longest time. So I think that we're finally going to see the Emerson that we actually bought. On my end, I just think that this guy's going to do very well.
I totally agree. Emerson Royale, also very underrated in pre-season. Thought he's playing very well. Can see him actually fitting that inverted fullback role as well. I hope Porro succeeds because we spent a lot of money on him and he's got fantastic technical ability for a fullback, and I could see him getting a lot of assists. But from a defensive point of view and also just intricate play, he loves to shift the ball off to Kulusevski and I think allow the forwards to thrive and do what they're good at. And I think just that he's a very safe, smart, intelligent player, Emerson Royale, which I definitely wouldn't be saying 18 months ago. So I totally agree. I really would love to see Emerson Royale play well. I think he's a very popular player among the dressing room. And yeah, let's see how he gets on. I feel like it's kind of a make or break season for him because he retains a lot of value. I think there's still clubs, Atletico Madrid will link with him, as well as Hojbjerg. So he retains a lot of value. So for me, it's a now or never. You're either good enough to be at Spurs and you show up this season, or you move on and find another club. But like you say, excited to see how he performs.
Okay, interesting. Let's go for the next one. I think Emerson Royale is a pretty good shout, actually, Andre. I know that's your own one, so yeah, I know you always felt pretty strongly about him going into a 4 at the back, not 5 at the back, so hopefully he gets his chance. But let's go into the next one, potentially the last option.
Perfect. I mean, I think unanimously all three of us are hoping that this is the case because of the money we spent on this guy. But Richarlison, I swear to God, if he does not surprise us and actually does what we thought he would be doing, I don't even know what I'm going to do. Like that, we spent so much money on this guy. He better, like, I don't know. He better, like, get better this season. I just can't.
Jack, you mentioned it. It's a make or break season for Emerson. I actually think it's a make or break season for this man, Richarlison. I think if we don't see progression, we don't see him, really chipping in with the goals, depending obviously if Harry Kane leaves or not. Either way, I think if we don't see our £60 million value or even near to it, we need to cash in while he's still 26 years of age and still worth something, which we can get back into the club. And at the end of the day, I was never sure about signing this guy. I'm not even saying it just to say I told you so. I just genuinely was never sure about this signing. However, we have seen glimpses in pre-season. Yes, not against the best caliber of opposition, but I do believe Richarlison should have a better season this season under Ange.
I think he has to be honest. And for me, he's such a likable character. He has that aura. Like when he plays for Brazil, I just love watching him play. He's extremely exciting, but he just hasn't had that end product. And I feel like he's strong, he's powerful, he works extremely hard, which I think is a skill that is worthy. But has he got the end product in front of goal? Because when you pay £60 million for a footballer, you need all of that. And at the end of the day, like you say, James, it is a make or break season. I would love to see him thrive under Postecoglou. He has the ability to do so, but will the composure kick in? Has he got the ability to lead Tottenham out as the main number 9? I think it's yet to be seen. But we've seen players who've had a poor first season who come out and end up having stellar seasons. So I really hope this is the case for Richarlison. I can't wait to see how he performs. He's a fantastic rotational option, but £60 million demands more than that. And let's see how he gets on.
No, and you know what? I'm pretty sure Heung-Min Son had the same issue, right? When he first came in, right? The first season wasn't very good. Then he is the way he is now. And on my end, the last thing I'll just say is it's kind of difficult. You set players up for failure when you make them one of like some of the most expensive signings in your club, and then you know that they might not live up to it, right? We're not willing to just drop 40 million like that, and we spend around 60. So we'll see what happens.
We will see what happens with all 4 of those players that we've just discussed. Guys, let us know in the chat who you think is going to have a good season under Ange Postecoglou. Smash it in the comments. Put that keyword that I mentioned earlier. Smash the like button and subscribe. There is a memberships option if you have got the funds to do so. But if not, we know everyone's not in a position to do so. But it does help the channel massively and helps us progress with new mics and equipment for everyone else. So let us know in the comments below. Jack, Andre, been superb, and we'll see you guys very soon. Remember, as always, COYS!